What is up, you geezers, blow tie geezers? It is Chris Marder 9 here. Yep, it's been a while, I know. Seeing as there's been no Chelsea football this weekend, because of the international break, there's not really much things to talk about. So, apart from the fact that, England, a bit mediocre against Slovenia and Lithuania, but they got the job done. They got to the World Cup finals in Russia next year, so... I guess it's good, but then, when they get to the finals, they're not as good as when they are in the qualifiers. So, I guess that's not really counted for anything. But, it's another World Cup finals, I guess. So, with that said, on to a more serious matter that has come up quite recently. Now, Charlie Musonda, you know him, don't you? A lot of Chelsea fans know who he is. He is one of the young prospects that we kept on this summer. Everybody else got loaned out or sold. Thank you very much, Michael Emanalo. Great job there. Keep it up. So, yeah, Charlie Musonda broke out on Instagram quite recently. It's been getting Chelsea fans and myself a bit worried. I'll read it out, what he said on Instagram. He said this: "You sacrifice, you work hard, harder. You give more than what's expected, and often more than you can because you love what you do, and clearly more than you should. And what do you get back? Literally nothing. Done. However, with this being said, I will continue with the same dedication and commitment to this great game." Now, there's also a response from what appears to be his brother saying, "It's starting to look like they wouldn't know what they have if they had Ronaldo or Messi coming out of the academy." Okay. Well, make one thing absolutely clear. Musonda, he has absolutely every right to say this. Okay? He has every right to head out of Chelsea. Do you know why? Because our academy is treated like absolute shit. It really has. I'm going to have to be honest. We have arguably the most successful academy in the Premier League. We've won a hell of a lot of FA Youth Cups, right? Including a lot of final victories over Manchester City's academy. We've won a couple of European Cups. We've won a few leagues as well. And despite all of that, it gets treated like crap. In the last 20 years, we haven't promoted anyone from that academy. The players have either gone out on loan, or they've ended up being sold, right? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Lewis Baker, Tammy Abraham, Nathan Ake, just so many players. I couldn't list them off so much. There's so many to try and remember. It's very difficult, okay? Even if I'm a Chelsea supporter, alright? So, Musonda. He is, I would say, is probably the biggest talent that we still have on our books. That is still available to play, right? And don't say anything about Christensen being promoted. Because, okay, he's been amazing. He's been incredible when he's had the chance to play. If David Luiz hadn't got suspended, he would not be playing. He wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't even have a chance. Because David Luiz is technically irreplaceable in that side. Because he is the superglue in our defence. Then you've got Cahill, who is mediocre, and Christensen would easily replace him. But he's English. And of course, Azpilicueta, who we definitely need because, he's actually quite stern at the back. He works well alongside David Luiz. So, then we have Charlie Musonda. Now, what annoys me is that he's actually come out and said this. He is possibly an incredible player. He literally walks into that side. He walks into that side. And yet the problem we have is that we still play Willian, who can't even play as good as an academy player. He can't even play as good as a pub team player at the moment. He is so bad. And yet he still gets played. And then players like Musonda doesn't even get a chance. Do you remember when he scored that goal against Nottingham Forest in the League Cup, right? He celebrated, after scoring that goal, he celebrated like he'd literally scored a World Cup final goal. That meant so much to him. Do you know, that goal said a lot of things to me. That said that he'd come a long way. After that loan spell against Real Betis, right, he'd worked his arse off. Then he comes back with all that experience. And all he gets put is on the bench. Now, Antonio Conte, I don't want to fault him, right? We have to be clear here. He is the best manager that we've had since the sacking of Jose Mourinho, right? I know that. Every single Chelsea fan knows that. And I'm sure that if you're watching this as a Chelsea fan, you know that. But he got it wrong against Man City. He got it wrong against Arsenal. Now, if things aren't going right, if things are not going right in this sense, you need to change it up. You need to change. You need a second plan, right? Now, I'm not saying that Charlie Musonda is the second plan, but what I'm saying is, if things aren't going right with Willian, as an example, you need to give Musonda a chance. We haven't given Musonda a single chance in the Premier League so far. And that's what annoys me. Willian is still playing. And yet we've got somebody that can be just as bad, if not 10 times better than what Willian can do right now. And he's not getting a chance. So yes, Musonda has every right to say what he said on Instagram. So what are we doing in this sense? Why is he still on the bench when he clearly can do something on the pitch? If I was Antonio Conte, what do I do against Crystal Palace? Well, first of all, I'd drop Willian straight away. I don't care if it's Crystal Palace. I don't care if it's Crystal Palace, a side that hasn't scored in the Premier League. If you've got players in your side that are not performing and they're not doing well and they're not good enough, you need to drop them. You need to put on somebody who's hungry. You need to put on somebody who's dedicated to put on that shirt and do something. Now, I reckon somebody like Musonda can do that. He works hard. Musonda, just like every other academy player in that squad, works his arse off to get to where he is. And you see that hunger. You see that hunger and drive. You see the way that he celebrated that goal against Nottingham Forest. You know that player is worthy enough to get a chance. So fucking play him. If he's gonna do that, fucking play him. Don't play someone like Willian who can't be arsed. Okay? Don't do that. You put somebody on that is willing to put that shirt on and be dedicated to get on that pitch and score. Or if not score, provide. Or do something that is going to change the game that's positive for Chelsea. Willian is not a positive. Willian is somebody that just can't be asked. Just can't be asked. So, if that's the case, so if you are going to play someone like Willian, the top players who get paid so much money, it's ridiculous, get more paid than all the nurses and all the doctors that save lives of, patients' lives and everything. If they're going to play like that, and if you're going to still play them, then why the hell have you got an academy? That's what... yeah. Just... I don't know, man. This turned into some kind of rant. And you know what? Rightly so, because I look at this, and I just feel appalled. Do you know, imagine if we end up selling Musonda because he doesn't get what he wants at the club, right? He goes off and he plays absolutely incredibly for a different club. Look at De Bruyne. Look at De Bruyne, right? Apparently, there was a rumor coming out about Jose Mourinho, the fact that he sold him because of because he was badly behaved. Oh dear, oh dear. I just this coming out has really worried me a lot, and I'm sure it's worried you as a Chelsea fan watching this. But you know what? If just don't have an academy. That's it. Just don't have a bloody academy. If you're not going to use it, why have it? I can imagine the amount of money that Roman Abramovich puts into that academy, and when it doesn't get used, it's like Abramovich is just wasting his money. And yet, he uses all of that money to buy top quality players like Willian, who, okay, he's been pretty decent in recent seasons. We cannot fault certain seasons where he's actually done well. I think Willian was one of a few players that performed well during our 2015-16 season where that team was terrible and finished 10th, right? So players like Willian is creditable for that, but not this season. Not this season. Like I said earlier, if things aren't going well, if Willian is not delivering the goods, put someone else in and get Willian to start working his arse off more, because what you're doing is not right. Conte's a great manager. Conte is one hell of a manager. But he got outdone by Guardiola last week. And he got... I would be willing to say that he got outdone by Wenger as well. Because Wenger came to Stamford Bridge and he got a draw. An unlikely draw out of what should have been an easy win for us at the beginning. But it wasn't. Because Wenger outdid Conte. I mean... It could have been worse in that game. It could have been a loss, but like players like Willian, as I said, he just needs to get dropped. He needs to get dropped, and Conte needs to bring somebody like Musonda in that is willing, that is more hunger. There is more hunger in Musonda than Willian is right now. So yeah, I wanted to make this video. This video is a little bit out of place. But the reason I made this video is because this has come up and I wanted to sort of say my views on it. And yeah, I just wanted to make that statement clear. So I know this is probably all over the place, in terms of my talking, but the fact that I've got my message across about Willian and Musonda is set in stone. That, Conte needs to change it up if things go wrong. And the fact that if the academy isn't going to be used, then why have it? It's just pointless. Just Michael Emenalo. It's funny because I haven't mentioned him in this video quite recently. In this video, I haven't mentioned him. Well, he's just an idiot. I don't know why he's still in the job. I don't know why he's even controlling our academy. I don't know why he's technical director. I don't know what is even his purpose. I've got no clue at all. He should get the sack. Well, he's not been sacked. Why would Chelsea sack him? He's not done anything wrong, apparently, according to Chelsea's board. That's why he's still here, right? All right, well... Something needs to change. Something really needs to change before it gets out of hand. Crystal Palace is a start. I do hope we win that, because if we don't, if we let Crystal Palace score, like I said in the last video, that would be... Well, that would be embarrassing to start off with. Even if we do win, we've let Crystal Palace score for the first time after 7 games. That would be a real shock. So, yeah. That's gonna be my little rant. Like I said, I know it's all over the place in terms of my talking. Yes, if I'm a Chelsea fan, there's so many lone players that we've got. It's just difficult to remember all of them. But I benchmarked some of the bigger players in that academy that have gone off and apparently gone on loan and been sold. But as a Chelsea fan, it just gets so aggravating to see our youth players get sold off, but oh dear. But this article, this Instagram post by Charlie Musonda really has, it's proved that our academy is being treated like shit, and well, there needs to be a change. There needs to be a change. Christensen. Great player. Amazing player. He really has proved that, maybe the academy can work. But, when you think that maybe the reason why he's been playing recently is because David Luiz has been suspended, it kind of makes you think, right? Is Christensen going to continue that place? I can't see him replacing David Luiz. Maybe Cahill, But I don't know, man. I just find our academy to be it's just being treated like shit, let's be honest. And especially when you think that our squad at the minute has got so little options. I mean, Kante recently has been injured, playing for France, and then you got Morata's injury. Both of them have got hamstring injuries. Of course, then you've got a link between Hazard, Courtois, and Real Madrid. That'll be for another video. I mean, the only good thing coming out of recent articles is the fact that Andre Pirlo could be our second man to Antonio Conte. That's the only positive. That is the only positive coming out of this week. So, yeah. Guys, that's all I've got to say. Like I said numerous times in this video, and I do apologise to say again, this video has been all over the place, but, you know, it's the first time after a week that I've started making a video, so bear with me. They will get better. And thank you so much to all the people that have recently subscribed. You know, with every single person that has hit subscribe on this channel, you know, I wasn't expecting to get at least 925 subscribers from 870 that I had when I started making all these videos. So thank you so much. I am so thankful for any single person that hit subscribe. And if you are still watching this video at this point, and if you are into gaming, you might want to go and check out Chris Marder Games, because he does quite a lot of things as well. He's worked his butt off. He's worked his arse off as well with his channel. So please give CMG some love as well if you are going to watch this and watch it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. There will be another video to come after the Crystal Palace game, or anything else that I might want to think about making a video of. Remember, it's not 100% a Chelsea channel. I do talk about other things as well, so bear with me in terms of that, and just not gaming, because I don't do it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being so patient as well. My recent video that I did on the Man City game got about 600 views. I thought, what? So yeah, thank you so much for all your patience and all of that. Yeah, these videos will get better. It's just working from the ground up, you know, as a YouTuber, as in terms of my experience with that, you know, it's an uphill struggle. I'm sure Chris Marder Games will tell you exactly the same thing. So yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Follow me on Twitter as well, Chris Marder 9. There'll be a link down in the description below. Check out Chris Marder Games. There'll be his link in the description below. And also, you know, keep supporting Chelsea, because, you know, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for 20 odd years, and I still will never change. So thank you very much, guys. Hey door, and peace.